Chris Halls with Walk of Volk standing in Station 23 of the Highlands Fire District. Going to talk to you today about wildfire. So guys, Brian Katrales here is the Public Information Officer, as well as firefighter, captain, what else is? Paramedic, lots of things on the tile here, but he is, we wanted to sit down and do a little bit of a public service announcement with our Flag Home Friday this week and really talk about the fire danger that's facing us. So what's different this year, Brian?
Well, the biggest difference is the fact that we did not have the moisture precipitation that we normally do. We are so far behind right now. You know, right now we're sitting at numbers in the beginning of May. We're sitting at numbers like mid-July right now, as far as that's concerned. As far as the fire danger based on the fuel, moisture, and things like that.
Gotcha. So heading into it, and people need to be aware of that. And hopefully you guys are aware of this. But let's go through this, as I know some of it's. I'm not aware of everything or all the rules here heading into it. So what is being done on a on a county standpoint or from the firefighter standpoint as far as restrictions and, and work there?
Sure, everybody in and around Flagstaff is in the Coconino National Forest, and we listen to the mandates and guidelines that the Coconino National Forest and the County Board of Supervisors both enact. So right now we are in Stage 1 restrictions, and Stage 1 restrictions are basically the first of the two stages of restrictions that, that both of those entities enact. And coincidentally tomorrow, Friday, is when Stage 2 restrictions go into effect. So Stage 2 is basically the fire restriction mandate that is going to say that nothing is allowed to be, no smoking, no fires, no campfires, nothing like that in and around the area. That includes on private land. So on your private property, you're not going to allow to have a campfire or anything like that. Smoking is going to be requested that you be inside, or excuse me, mandated that you be inside of an enclosed vehicle or inside of the building as well. The only thing that you can have as far as an open flame is concerned will be a barbecue grill that's fired by propane, for example. If you can turn it on or off with a switch or with a with an igniter, then that's allowed. So no charcoal fires, no open fires that are like but with like campfires and so forth.
Yeah.
Another thing to talk about would be using any internal combustion engines in the forest, and the restrictions outline that you can use the internal combustion engines, so like in an ATV or a motorcycle. You can drive those on pre-established roads in the forest still, just as long as they have a spark arrestor. Because the biggest thing that you want to prevent is any sparks or any ignition source coming off of the vehicle. And any vehicle is allowed in the forest as well still. The County Board of Supervisors and the Coconino National Forest will say that the next stage, which isn't necessarily a stage, it's just the next thing that will happen above this will be closing the forest. Okay. And that means that there's nobody would be allowed, now that's even walking or hiking, would be allowed in the forest.
So Brian, what can community members and personal residents, owners and business owners do on their end to also work to prevent and also be ready for the case of a potential fire?
All right, this year, and this is not actually the first year, I don't mean to imply that, but this year the Ready, Set, Go program that the Coconino County has established and is working with is really going to be relied on. The Ready, Set, Go program basically talks about the three stages that you need to be, that we ask community members to be in, for your personal property and so forth. So in a ready state, you would be, you would have created a family disaster plan. You would have maybe practice several escape routes around your area. Another thing would be to create a communication plan. You may not know exactly where you're going to go or anything like that. Well, if you think about that beforehand, you can know that we're going to go ahead and meet, say, in Flagstaff or something like that, or some predetermined area, and the communication plan would be if somebody is at work, they would know that, hey, I can call my spouse or family members on a cell phone, and we'll go ahead and meet at this predetermined location. The second area of that, or the second phase of that program, is the SET. And in that, we ask that you monitor conditions on the fire status through local media and public information sources. Our fire district, for example, is a good source of that. We do keep up a Facebook page and a Twitter feed with current information. The county does as well. So does the National Forest. NC Web, for example, is a really good source for that. Other things to do in the set stage would be to ensure that you have an emergency kit with you. An emergency kit, I think the best thing to do with that is think about what you're going to need in the next 72 hours, and that's 3 days. That may seem like a long time, but and it may seem like it'd be a big kit, but actually it's not very big. The one I carry with me personally in my vehicle at all times with me is a little duffel bag, about 24 inches long, about 18 inches wide, and that has clothing. It's got food. It's got some non-perishable food in it, for example. It's got some water in it. It also has some batteries, just in case I need any backup for any communication or anything like that. The last phase of the Ready Set Go program is the go phase, and that's act early is the main point of that one. And that's don't wait to leave early, and do not hesitate. Travel to your predetermined location and use your communication plan. Choose the safest evacuation route, and then take your emergency supply kit. So again, Ready Set Go program also includes a communication program where you need to sign up at coconino.az.gov/ready, and you can enter your cell phone or any personal phone numbers that you have, and any emergency broadcasts that are created by the county will be sent to you.
Awesome. And so it can be a little bit daunting, can be a little overwhelming, but you guys actually have some resources as well here at the Highlands, and even an open house coming up. So what can this Saturday?
Sure. Saturday.
What is the time frames?
This Saturday, May 5th, from 9 to 11, we're going to have a wildfire preparedness open house here at Station 23 in Mountainaire, and our location is 3350 Mountainaire Road, and we are at the intersection of Old Munns Highway and Mountainaire Road. We're going to have representatives from Coconino County, from the Forest Service, and also firefighters there to answer any questions and to talk about any personal questions that people may have. Certainly, be a little bit more intimate situation or setting than this will be. So
perfect, Brian. So I appreciate it, guys. Take it seriously. It's
sure.
Something that if we all pitch in and do our part on it, we can be safe.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, Chris. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching another episode of Flag Home Fridays. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. And if you'd like to be featured on future episodes, contact me with the information below, and we'll see you next Friday.